If you still think that all warm seasons should look good with gold and all cool seasons only look good with silver jewelry, you're missing out. There's actually more to consider when it comes to choosing the right type of jewelry for you than just gold versus silver. So today I'm going to explain what those factors are and how you need to look at these factors in choosing the right type of jewelry for yourself. So choosing the right color of jewelry is definitely easier if you have an idea of what your color season is. And I'm not just talking about simply gold versus silver, but also other choices like what kind of metal, what kind of texture, and what's the right depth of the gold or silver, etc. And to explain why all these factors matter, I have to go back to talking about the basic theory of color analysis. If you've watched my other videos on seasonal colors before, I like to talk about the 3 characteristics of color and how tolerant our skin tone is to each of these characteristics. So to start off with talking about the temperature of the color, gold is a warm color, but there's different types of gold. So the purer the gold is, the more yellow and therefore the warmer the color becomes as well. That means if you're the type that can wear very warm colors really well, you'd be able to wear a wider range of golds that are more yellow and warmer. But like I explained in my previous videos, not all seasons depend on the temperature of the color as much. So then if you fall into a season like a light spring where the temperature of the color is not as much of an important characteristic for you than the lightness of the color, then a very yellow gold like an 18K gold is going to be overwhelmingly warm for you. So even if you're a spring or an autumn, if your skin tone can't tolerate very warm colors all that well, colors like a champagne gold or 10K gold would probably be more suitable for your skin. And on the other hand, even if you're in one of the cool seasons, if you're able to borrow colors from your adjacent warm season, then less yellow golds like a champagne gold might also be suitable for you other than just silver. So if you've had a similar experience where you're one of the warm seasons but somehow gold doesn't look that great on you, try to remember how yellow the actual color of the gold was. This brings me to my next point, which is the value of the color. Essentially, how harmonious a warm gold is against your skin tone would depend on where exactly on the spectrum of the color seasons you actually sit. But if you're a light spring that's closer to a light summer, between a white gold and a very pure or a very yellow gold, you might have even felt like the white gold is the better option because again, lightness of the color is what's the most important for your skin, and white gold is lighter than yellow gold. So that might have also left you scratching your head a bit as to why you're a spring but you look better with white gold than a very yellow gold. On the other hand, if you're a deep winter, depth of color is the most important characteristic for you. So rather than a white gold, you might feel that other metals like tungsten or titanium that have a bit more depth to the color work better for you. So I think in that sense, the design of the jewelry itself can be quite important as well. In their pure forms, I don't think that these different types of metals really show a huge difference in the depth of their colors, but it's more so the designs and the intricacy of these designs that can add more depth to the overall color of the jewelry. And the same applies for gold jewelry as well. Again, if the darkness or the depth of color is important for you, then choosing the right design of gold jewelry that can add more depth to the color is something you might want to consider. So if you're the type where depth of color is very important, then perhaps more antique looking designs and colors in the jewelry might be what you want to focus on more. Now, when it comes to clarity, what you should be focusing on is the finish. You can have a polished or a shiny finish to the jewelry, or you can have a matte finish. And with bright or clear colors, I explained in my How to Wear All Colors video that when the brightness of the color is too much for you, the color can look really separated from your skin. And the reason why this effect happens is because bright colors tend to enhance the glow of the skin more, while muted or soft colors have the opposite effect of making your skin appear more matte. So if you're in one of the bright or clear seasons, it means that bright or clear colors that enhance the glow in your skin are working harmoniously with your natural skin texture, and that's why you're not overpowered by these bright colors. So for these seasons, more polish and a shinier finish in your jewelry works for you and it doesn't overwhelm you. Whereas if you're the type where the softness of the color is the most important factor, then going with a matte finish will not only work more harmoniously with your natural skin texture, but also with your best colors. colors. With that said, I do also think that how harmonious the jewelry works with the colors that you wear in your outfits is also very important. If you think about the typical deep season colors, these colors have a lot of weight to them, so bolder and bigger accessories work really well with the richness of these colors. Whereas for typical light season colors, that same level of boldness might be too overpowering for the colors, and you might want to stick to something more delicate or dainty. I think that your overall contrast level has an impact on how big or bold you can go with your accessories for that reason. In the end, your accessories are used to enhance your outfits and the overall look, so how well your accessories work with the colors and the contrast level is crucial. If I use myself as an example, when I wear really delicate jewelry like tiny little studs or thin and dainty bracelet or anything like that, they just honestly look like a piece of dust. But I know this effect doesn't happen for everybody. I know lots of people that look great with small and dainty jewelry, and it's usually how I get tricked into buying these things because they look so great on other people that I think they would also look good on me. So over time, I've just learned for myself that it's just better for me to not wear anything at all than to wear something really small. And then of course, your personal preference also has a huge part to play as well, right? A lot of people say that rose gold is sort of a neutral option between a gold and a silver, so it's apparently suitable for everybody. And theoretically, it makes sense, but I would never ever buy anything in rose gold for myself because it's just not my vibe. I don't know why, I just don't like it. So as you can see, the same theory of using the 3 characteristics of color in finding your season can also be applied in choosing the right pieces of jewelry for yourself. Somebody actually requested me to make a separate red hair video for different skin tones, and while I was thinking a lot about this topic, I realized that the theory really overlaps with what I've just talked about today because, again, the same logic of using the 3 characteristics of color can also be applied to choosing the right shade of red for your hair. But one thing to note about red hair is that a lot of the time, red hair we're talking about is not actually red, but they're more so different shades of orange, and orange is an extremely warm color. It's the complementary color of blue, and in color analysis, we distinguish between a warm and a cool color by looking at how much yellow or how much blue is added to the color. But as you might know, complementary colors are meant to cancel each other out. So by adding more blue to an orange, you can make the color lose its clarity, but you can't really make a cooler orange by adding blue. With other colors like yellow or red or green, by adding more blue, you can make the color cooler, but with orange, you can't really do that. You can only make the color more desaturated, which I think explains why red hair is so difficult to pull off for a lot of people, because when we think redhead, the color is actually closer to orange a lot of the times, and you can tone down the color by adding black to make it more like a coppery brown, but it's still not going to be a cool color. So if you're looking to try red hair, but your best colors are cool colors that are actually red and not orange would be a good place to start. Orange is just a very difficult color to pull off in general, whether in your hair or in your outfits. Bottom line is, if you're ever curious about whether a certain piece of jewelry or a certain hair color would be suitable for you or not, you can always come back to thinking about how your skin tone reacts to the different characteristics of color and connect the dots from there. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, stay unique and stay gorgeous.